What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. Alright guys, something I want to talk about real quick. Save your gacha tickets. If you were smart and not dumb like me and spent all your gacha tickets summoning on your free-to-play account because you were like, hey, I need items and gear and stuff, well, this bodes very well for the future of the game. Now, I don't know how events are going to work because, for example, the draw tickets for Tifa and Red 13, weapon for the summer event, as well as the featured events for Maritime Sword and the Sun Umbrella. I don't know if these are going to be added into the actual pool, so by the time tomorrow happens, we're going to find out, right? Now, on my free-to-play, I haven't summoned for these. This is my pay-to-win account. I obviously have them, okay? The reason why I say this is a good thing and hold on to your gacha tickets is because in under notices, I completely missed this. And I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but yesterday I was so caught up in the whole First Soldier Chapter 5 and the co-op battle, I didn't even notice the additions to ticket draws and the exchange. So yeah, this is an important one, okay? So, thank you for playing Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. This is a message for the management team. So, as of the 28th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for me, Pacific Daytime Savings Time for them, the following weapons will be added to the various ticket draws and exchanges: the Murasame and the Heavy Hauser. Absolutely feel gutted for this. Alright? So what does this mean, right? So if you go to your tickets, right, in your draw section, let's go to tickets. Right? See all these tickets here? 95 of them. Well, in these details and odds, you can see here all the weapons that can drop. They're going to add Murasame and the Hauser now to this list. So this is a great thing for everybody, which means for future weapons that you don't want to summon on, you can rely on them to be here and hopefully get them from the ticketing system, which everybody gets quite a few gacha tickets in the beginning, right? We don't know how often we're going to get them through the leaderboards, so we'll see how much of that changes things, but it's good to know that they're going to be added to here. Now, the only downside to this right now is, see, you can see here Cloud has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, he's going to have 9 soon. So the Murasame will be added here. So the percentages for all this should technically go down. Okay, because the more you add, the less of a chance you have to technically pull any of these items, because you're adding in, it's like saying there's 5 red marbles and 1 blue marble, right? So 1 in 5 chance. But then you throw in 5 more red marbles and still 1 blue marble. Well, now it's 1 in 10 chance, right? So unless you're increasing the odds somehow in our favor through the system, by adding more to here, you're lowering the odds of getting specific items you're looking for. So for free-to-play who missed out on the Murasame and the Hauser, it's now in here. So I hope you held on to your tickets, and I could safely say, by them making this change, that most weapons that are not event related, so I don't know again if the summer ones are going to be added in here. We're going to have to find out in a few weeks, and I think that'll be a really good determining factor of how they handle future event items as well. If they get it added in here, that means free to play have a really good chance to pull featured weapons that they missed out on because they didn't have the blue crystals. I think this is a great move, because what happens a lot in gacha games, if you don't play gacha games very much and this is your first one because you love Final Fantasy, you're a big Final Fantasy VII fan, but you don't like mobile games, what normally happens is featured banners don't normally get added into the I say normally, not all games are like this, many games actually do add them, but this is one of them. But normally they don't add them back into the regular gacha pool. What they do is they recycle the banners so people can wait and get themselves the weapons in a future banner again. Now, that bears the question to what happens to the garbs, right? The skins. Realistically, a lot of people are pulling for those skins, and we have yet to see any news on where those skins are going to end up. And I think this is kind of a big problem that Square has to address with the devs. No, the devs are not Square. Square Enix hired these devs, I think it's Applebot, right? To manage this whole thing. So we can't blame Square for this. The devs are making the decisions, usually how it works, especially with countries in the East. Skins, really a big part of the game, right? And I mean, they make a fairly substantial difference in how a weapon functions and how much damage a weapon does. Take, for example, Murasame, right? If you look at the skin for Murasame, it's a pretty big deal having that skin. Now, I don't have the skin. I was one stamp away on my free-to-play from getting the skin, but obviously I have it on my main account, right? Look at the difference that the skin makes versus not having the skin, okay? So Murasame, you guys know, is a physical thunder elemental damage dealing weapon. By having this skin available, not only do you boost the physical attack, which is exactly what helps physical elemental damage, but you also get Levin Blade Arcanum at plus 10 points, and that increases lightning ability damage by 35%. So by not having this, you've now lost 35% DPS on your Murasame. That's massive. That is huge. Take into account even, I mean, go something smaller, even the Sailor's outfit, right? Here. So the Maritime Sailor, even with the boost HP is nice, but the Water Mastery increases it by 20% for all water damage. Again, a very nice boost to DPS, and a lot of these fights, such as Ramu, which requires water, does have a gear check and a DPS check at the end of the fight, right? So even though there's no real enrage timers, these garbs make a massive difference. So I really hope they find a solution for this. Now, my original suggestion for this was simple. Put them in the exchange shop. Put them in the shop, right? And then go to the exchange section. Put them under gear exchange. And let us earn these gear tokens and put these things in here, right? Because it would be ideal to be able to take, let's say once a month, get a gear token through either the season passes free to play or through like a crisis dungeon or a leaderboard of any sort, and be able to be like, hey, you know what? I missed out on the Murasame garb. I still use it as my main weapon. Let me use this gear token to get myself that so I can boost up my account. So I still think this is still the best spot for harnessing your old garbs that aren't going to return, because it doesn't make any sense if you're going to put the Murasame and the Hauser into the regular gacha pool to not put the gear or the skins along with it somewhere, right? Like, you're not going to just rerun a whole featured banner on the Murasame that people have to start over again on the stamp system just to get a garb. Like, that. I mean, they may do that, but that to me is crazy. Like, that's a lot of wasted resources for free-to-play players and even whales. Like, because you can't, from what I understand and what I saw, you can't level up the actual garbs. There's no way to do it. So having a duplicate of it, like, what do you get? You get a gear voucher? If you get a gear voucher, then hell, put it in the gear voucher section so we can get something else for it, right? So that's my solution. I'm curious what you guys think as well, too, on that solution as well. If you have your own thoughts on it, let me know. I'm very curious, but I think that'd be a fantastic way to deal with it. But it's a great move by adding in those weapons into the basic gacha pool. Again, lowering the odds for everything else, but also giving you the opportunity to get some featured weapons that you may have missed out on being either a brand new player or just being a free-to-play player who was saving for, like, for example, Sephiroth, right? Anyways, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.